Hello and welcome. You're watching Today in Parliament with me, Aishwarya Kapoor. Here are the Parliament headlines. 4 days left for monsoon session of Parliament to conclude. Bill seeking to recognise home buyers as financial creditors in Rajya Sabha. Finance Minister Piyush Goyal to move for its consideration and passing. National Sports University Bill in Rajya Sabha. Union Minister Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore to move bill aimed to establish a first-of-its-kind specialised National Sports University in Manipur. Lok Sabha has cleared the bill. Short-duration discussion in the Rajya Sabha on recent increase in MSPs of Kharif crops. Members of several parties to raise discussion on the challenges in the agriculture sector. And crucial bills on Lok Sabha's list of business today. Piyush Goyal to move for consideration and passing of Appropriation number 4 and number 5 bills. It is the second day of the last week of a monsoon session of Parliament and 4 more days are left in this session. In the Rajya Sabha today, there will be a short duration discussion on the challenges facing the agriculture sector and the recent hike in MSP of Kharif crops. The Upper House is also slated to take up the National Sports University Bill 2018, the Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Bill 2018 and the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill 2018. And the Lok Sabha is slated to take up discussion and voting on the supplementary demand for grants and demands for excess grants. Also, the lower house will consider the Rajya Sabha amendments to the Requisitioning and Acquisition of Immovable Property Amendment Bill 2017. A short duration discussion is slated to be held in the Rajya Sabha today. The discussion is on the recent increase in minimum support prices for Kharif crops and the challenges in the agriculture sector. The discussion will be raised by Amit Shah, Bhupendra Yadav, Amar Shankar Sable, Prasanna Acharya, Pratap Keshri Dev, Bhaskar Rao Nekanti, Manoj Kumar Jha, Binoy Viswam, Vijay Sai Reddy and Anil Jain. My colleague Kriti Mishra is now joining us from live Parliament. Kriti, 4 more days left for the session to end, and we also have the election to the post of Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha that is slated on a Thursday. Monday was a productive session. 2 bills were passed in the Rajya Sabha and 1 in the Lok Sabha. What do we expect today?
Well, Aishwarya, the Upper House has decided to sit beyond the usual working hours and complete the passage of bills, the crucial bills that are pending in the Rajya Sabha. So today also there are very important bills that are slated to come up in the Rajya Sabha. For instance, the National Sports University Bill that seeks for establishment of Sports University in Manipur. This will be the first of its kind university. This bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha, and once passed by the Rajya Sabha, this bill would replace the ordinance promulgated by the government recently. There's also a very important bill which is the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill that paves way for the recognition of real estate buyers as financial creditors. It also gives way for special dispensation for MSMEs. Remember, when this bill was getting passed in the Lok Sabha, Finance Minister Piyush Goyal had said that the aim of this bill is not to liquidate the company but to save the jobs of the people. So certainly a very important bill. There's also Homeopathy Council, Central Council Amendment Bill that aims to improve the quality of education in homeopathy, and there's also a short duration discussion on agriculture. BJP member Amit Shah is expected to open this discussion in the Rajya Sabha today. He's also expected to highlight the achievements of the government and also the schemes that have been formulated specifically for the welfare of the farmers. Remember, the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs recently had elevated MSP by almost 150%, covering as many as 14 Kharif crops. So certainly a very important discussion is expected to come up in the Rajya Sabha today. Aishwarya?
Right, a very important discussion, and also 3 bills were passed yesterday by Parliament in total, and with both the houses sitting extra time, well, it seems we can look forward to more such productive sittings. Thank you so much, Kriti, for all those updates there from Parliament. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill 2018 is slated to be taken up in the Rajya Sabha today. Finance Minister Piyush Goyal will move the bill to further amend the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. It has been passed by the Lok Sabha. The bill brings a major economic reform by allowing a person buying a home or commercial space to be treated as a financial creditor. The IBC amendment also makes it easier for banks to agree on salvaging a failed firm from being wound up by lowering the votes needed for taking critical decisions to 66% from 75%. The IBC allows a maximum of 270 days for lenders to clear a rescue plan, failing which the defaulting company will go into liquidation. And also in the Rajya Sabha today, Sports Minister Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore will move the National Sports University Bill 2018. The bill seeks to move for leave to establish and incorporate a National Sports University in the state of Manipur. It will be a specialized university, first of its kind, to promote sports education in the areas of sports sciences, sports technology, sports management and sports coaching, besides functioning as the National Training Center for select sports disciplines by adopting best international practices. This bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha. And Shripad Yesso Naik will move the Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Bill 2018 in the Rajya Sabha. The bill seeks to replace the Central Council of Homeopathy with the Board of Governors. It aims at bringing accountability and quality in the homeopathy education system in our country. And the following ministers will lay papers in the Rajya Sabha today. Mahesh Sharma for the Ministry of Culture, Rajkumar Singh for the Ministry of Power, Radhakrishnan P for the Ministry of Finance, Shiv Pratap Shukla for Ministry of Finance, Virendra Kumar for Ministry of Minority Affairs, Babul Supriyo for Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, and PP Chaudhary for Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And in the legislative business in the Lok Sabha, Finance Minister Piyush Goyal will move to withdraw the Financial Resolution and Deposit Insurance Bill 2017. Piyush Goyal will move to introduce the Appropriation Number 4 Bill 2018 for consideration and passing. He will also move to introduce the Appropriation Number 5 Bill 2018 for consideration and passing. Hardeep Singh Puri will move for consideration and passing the Rajya Sabha amendments on the Requisitioning and Acquisition of Immovable Property Amendment Bill 2017. The bill seeks to further amend the Requisitioning and Acquisition of Immovable Property Act of 1952. And Shiv Pratap Shukla will move the Banning of Unregulated Deposit Schemes Bill 2018. And the following ministers will lay papers in the Lok Sabha today. Rajnath Singh for the Ministry of Home Affairs, Hardeep Singh Puri for Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Radhakrishnan P for Ministry of Finance, Parshottam Rupala for Ministry of Culture and Farmers Welfare, Krishnan P. Pal for the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Kiran Rijiju for Ministry of Home Affairs, Babul Supriyo for Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, Vijay Sampla for Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and Arjun Ram Meghwal for Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. And the following questions will be asked in the Rajya Sabha, for which ministers concerned will give replies. Here are a few of them. Shanta Chetri will ask the Minister of Health and Family Welfare whether government has sanctioned one AIIMS-like institute for each state in the country. KVP Ramachandra Rao will ask Minister of Finance whether it is a fact that government has consulted various countries to find out the total black money deposited in various foreign banks by Indian nationals. Amar Shankar Sable will ask Minister of Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani Siddha and Homeopathy whether the government has any plan to promote homeopathy hospitals in India. Sanjay Singh will ask the Minister of Health and Family Welfare whether it is a fact that India has reported the highest number of childhood tuberculosis cases in the world for the last 3 consecutive years. Sushil Kumar Gupta will ask the Minister of Tourism whether it is a fact that in order to develop a heritage sites and monuments and make them tourist-friendly, government has initiated the scheme Adopt a Heritage. And that's it in this edition of Today in Parliament. Do stay tuned. The proceedings of the Upper House are going to commence in a while. Thanks for watching.